Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. I refuse to run away. Sha'Carri Richardson speaks out on Christian Coleman airport altercation. U.S. sprinter Sha'Carri Richardson has spoken out for the first time after she was temporarily arrested following a fight with fellow sprinter Christian Coleman. The fight, which is reported to have taken place at an airport during the U.S. National Track and Field Championships, left the world of athletics stunned and quickly went viral on social media. The Seattle Police Department, Port of Seattle, booked Richardson on a charge of fourth-degree domestic violence after a video surfaced that appeared to show her pushing Coleman. Pay attention. Stay ahead of the latest sports news in Kenya from Pulse Sports. The World 100m champion, nevertheless, avoided formal charges after Coleman declined to press charges. Richardson, who broke her silence a week later, addressed the incident without mentioning Coleman by name, sharing her thoughts on accountability and reflection. Above all else, for certain, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of consciousness of not only putting myself in a vulnerable situation with somebody who I care about and have a lot of respect for, is something that holding me accountable. Richardson said on a video posted on Instagram stories. I'm taking this time to not just look at myself, but to get to a certain level of help that overall will correctly represent who I truly am in my heart and my spirit, and not allowing this time, but welcoming this time to be more. Richardson's statements appear to take ownership of her actions, and a desire to use the incident as a learning point. She appreciated her fans for not only supporting her, but also holding her to high standards during a challenging time. Thanks fans for support during turmoil. And so, I really appreciate you all supporting me and showing up and even holding me accountable for being my best self, she continued. So, more than anything, I refuse to run away and face whatever comes head on because everything on the other side is greater, but you've got to get through to get there. The 24-year-old sprinter's message was one of vulnerability and resolution, and it was clear that she would not shun the fallout of the incident, but tackle it head-on. Championships performance, a mixed bag. Richardson's arrest hijacked the headlines from what was already a dramatic U.S. National Track and Field Championships for the Olympic gold medalist. Despite having an automatic 100m berth as the defending world champion, she still ran in the heats, clocking 11.07 seconds to finish second. But she later withdrew from the 100m finals to focus entirely on the 200m event. Running in a competitive group of athletes in the 200m heats, Richardson recorded 22.56 seconds to finish fourth and narrowly missed the finals. The ruling will cause Richardson to miss the 200m at the upcoming World Athletics Championships. However, she remains a major contender in the 100m, where she will be hoping to defend her world title in September in Tokyo, Japan. While the theatrics of her arrest have been contentious, Richardson's willingness to speak about the matter openly and own up to it may see her begin to rebuild the trust of fans and fellow athletes. As the track season heats up, all eyes will be on her performance, both on and off the track, in the months ahead. The roar of the crowd, the blinding flash of cameras, the knowledge that every stride I take is etched into collective memory. This is the world of Sha'Carri Richardson, a world of brilliance, raw emotion, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. And yet, in that high-stakes arena, unforeseen storms can still erupt, not on the track, but in the most unguarded of places, the airport terminal. On July 27, 2025, what began as a routine checkpoint at Seattle, Tacoma International Airport spiraled into something that would overshadow headlines and perhaps her heartbeat for days to come. Surveillance footage revealed Sha'Carri pushing Christian Coleman, her boyfriend and fellow sprinting titan, into a column, followed by the hurling of headphones, all amidst the sterile hum of TSA scanners and anxious travelers. People.com, New York Post, The Cut, The Economic Times, Mundo Deportivo. Even in those seconds, captured without context, the world rushed to judgment. Detained on a fourth-degree domestic violence assault charge, Sha'Carri spent a night in jail before being released when Coleman declined to press charges. People.com, New York Post, India Times, The Economic Times, Mundo Deportivo. Replicating her own narrative, Coleman framed the incident as emotionally laden, but far from criminal. A sucky situation all around. She's a great person. I don't feel like she should have been arrested. New York Post. Sportskeeda. Jamaica Observer. But what shook Sha'Carri the most wasn't being behind bars. It was how quickly an aura of grace could turn into a different kind of spotlight. One that demanded apologies, explanations, clarity. So she spoke. I refused to run away. Those words, simple, defiant, human, were more than a soundbite. They were a declaration. First reported by Sportskeeda on August 12, 2025, Sha'Carri broke her silence, rejecting retreat. Yes, she had erred. Yes, she found herself accountable. But she wouldn't hide. She'd faced the shards of that moment head-on, not as a retreat, but as metamorphosis. Sportskeeda. She spoke of self-reflection, not abstract or performative, but deeply felt. Recognizing that she'd placed herself in a vulnerable position with someone she deeply cares for, she declared, I'm taking this time to get a certain level of help that will truly reflect who I truly am in my heart and spirit. And amid the vulnerability, she invited her supporters not just to cheer, but to help hold her accountable. I appreciate you all holding me accountable. I refuse to run away and face whatever comes head-on because everything on the other side is greater. But you've got to get through to get there. Sportskeeda. This moment is both fraught and tender. It reminds us that greatness isn't a spotlight. It's a continual act of refining, of confronting what we see in the mirror, even when it's messy. Sha'Carri, the blazing fast Texan with dyed hair and long nails that became her emblem, has always lived unfiltered. But this time, the distance between public persona and private reckoning collapsed. And so, she stands, anchored in the bright glare of public gaze, not retreating, but evolving. Narrative breakdown and creative elements. Emotional interior. I've imagined the emotional undercurrents Sha'Carri might have felt. Flash of lights, dread of judgment, yet rooted in self-awareness and resolve. Event overview. Covered factual sequence. Airport altercation, arrest, Coleman's stance, release, her competition aftermath. People.com. New York Post. +1. The Cut. The Economic Times. Mundo Deportivo. Sportskeeda. +1. Jamaica Observer. Inner Reflection. Used her actual quotes to reveal vulnerability and defiance. Sportskeeda. Arc of Resilience. Framed the arc from incident to clarity, to personal accountability and growth.